Well, some Sunday morning U16 AAA action just east of the Harbor City brings us a rematch and a battle for first place between two of the top teams in the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League. It's the Eastern Dukes and St. John Vitos getting back at it after the Vitos took last night's matchup. The Dukes are trying to get back at them here and steal 2 points today. The winner will move ahead of the Cabot Highlanders for first place. We'll take a look at the standings quickly before we get into this one. The Dukes sitting at 41 points. The Vitos with the exact same record, 41. The Highlanders with a little bit better of a record, up at 42 points. And we're just about set for the opening puck drop from center ice. We'll get your starting goaltenders in just a moment. And we're away here from Quispamsis. Off the draw, the Vitos control. This one's sent back down out to center. And a hand pass is called. And we'll get the men between the pipes this morning. It's number 29, Felix Hatton for the Eastern Dukes. And down 200 feet from him, Luca Riva, the St. George native, will man the pipes today for the Vitos. Off the draw, the Dukes control. This one's played back behind Hatton. They try to work up. It's intercepted by O'Toole in the slot. He rips one. He's fanned on that. And it's picked up by Wilson on the far side. Back to McKinnon. That shot off the stick of Hatton. Steered into the corner. McDonald goes up the wall. That's pinched off by Whitaker and held in momentarily. And he'll work it out to the slot. It's turned aside. And away goes the skipper, Colin McCormick. McCormick makes a move, drives in, sends it one to the front of the net. They score. A quick strike from Campbell Dunn right through the 5-hole, and just like that, the Dukes have taken an early lead. 59 seconds into this one. So that face-off will be redone. Godkin and Greeley will face off. Cooling works it back up through center. And he's sent down to the ice. A big bump thrown by Henry. Now Livingstone behind the net, gives a bump to Murnahan. This one's kicked in front by Greeley, but it's held up into the corner. Livingstone in the slot to Cooling. That one's just high and wide over the net. Greeley will pick this one up, send it in front. Nobody home. And it's worked up the near side by Quincy McLennan. Down the line. This one's picked up behind the net by Arbo. He works it up the near side. Kept in by Murnahan at the line. Dennison Godin plays it up the near side. Thanks to Grayson Shanks for letting me know I was saying Tennyson's last name wrong all season long. Livingstone sends one off the glass. It's picked up by McDonald down low. Godkin couldn't get a stick on it, and Shanks will pick this one up, sending it out to center. And back in the Duke zone, they'll set up. A long pass up the far side. Pearson able to get a stick on it, and Arsenault will get the return feed. It's worked back up into center. Shanks able to quickly put this one back out of danger. Pearson gives chase behind the net. And battle on the near side wall. Pearson trying to get in there. He's helped out by Shanks. This one's worked back behind the net. Cutler into the slot for Bellier. And that one's just high and wide over the net. Now comes Fisher. He's going to drive in wide. Shanks gets a piece of him on the way in. This one's played back out to Fisher on the half wall. He sends one towards the net. English was right there on the back door. She couldn't get a stick on that, and it's played back out to center. Henry, quick up to Cash Fisher. Back goes Grayson Shanks to pick this one up. He's got Murnahan on him. Good escape turn there by Shanks to evade the pressure. Plays up the wall to Chase Cook. Up here with the Vitos from the U15 Ranger squad. Ahern, he takes a knee, and that one's not called. It's up to the far side. If you remember last night, it was a rough one for sure. Wasn't here, but definitely was watching on the stream from the hotel. It was WrestleMania, some may say. To the far side, Hartman. That one's poked off his stick. Max McKinnon sends a big bump into Henry, the league's leading defenseman in points. Steps up with a bump there, showing he's not just a point scorer. He can lay the body as well. This one's played out to center. Dagla plays it back to McKinnon. He drops. This one's played back up the wall out to center ice. O'Toole gives chase, and McKinnon pushes that one ahead. Played into the zone by Alexander Dagla. That one's held up by Sam Dunn, kept in on at the line by O'Toole, but it's quickly moved to the near side. McDonald will float one out through center. Godkin takes a bump, and now Wilson works it back out through center. He's quickly turned aside by Langell, but Daggle working back in. He's got Wilson and O'Toole with him. That one's played into the slot. Wilson slaps one on back door. Daggle just couldn't get a stick on it. He had Hatton down. Now Arbo up through center. That one's sent ahead. Wilson giving chase. And now Campbell Dunn, the goal scorer. The Ice Jam hero, some may call him. This one's played back out front. Sam Dunn had that one knocked off by the paddle of Luca Riva. It's played back behind the net for Dunn. He takes a bump from Godden. Godden giving a bump there to the official as well on the way through. Out to center. This one's played up the wall to the far side. Dunn will play this one in. Shanks back to grab this for the Vitos. Plays it back around for Cormier. And he'll get on his horse playing this one up the far side. It's intercepted by McCormick. And he works his way towards the net. Out to the slot off the pad of Riva. And Murnahan plays it back down in the corner. And gets the return feed. Now up to McCormick. Back door. Henry walking in. He's going to fire one off the shoulder of Riva. And he'll hold on for the faceoff. Some pushing and shoving in front of the net, of course. Like always, number 14, Noah Cormier, right in the mix. Behind the net, Greeley and Godkin tied up. This one's picked up by McLennan. He'll walk around the top of the zone, blockered into the corner by Riva. The referees from either side telling the boys to move the puck. And that they do. Trip Livingstone. Back door on the far side in the slot. Greeley gets that pass from Cooling, just sent it wide of the post as Livingstone delivers a bump down in the corner. He's taken down. No call as he'll have to pick up his stick and get back into the play. It's back for Whitaker. He spins one up the wall for Cooling. Cooling evades the hit there and taken down by Godkin. Greeley walks into the zone. Livingstone sends one towards the net. It's bobbled for a second, but Felix Hatton gets the second bounce, and he'll hold on. That one's into the glove, and we'll get a face-off to his glove side. and a penalty that I just missed. Excuse me, Cohen Godkin making his way to the box. So we will await the official call from the PA announcement. But for now, Cohen Godkin in the box. Vitos off to the power play. Jackson Bowering plays this one around the wall, but it's kept it on the far side by Sam Whitaker. Henry tries to spin one down the ice. It's picked up down low. Wilson trying to fend off Bowering, and O'Toole picks up the loose puck. Back up top to Grayson Shanks, getting some power play time today. And this one's loose in front. Back down low, Daggle to O'Toole. Up top, he'll switch with Grayson Shanks. O'Toole blocking at the top of the zone, spins one down towards the net. That one didn't make its way to the goal. It's played back down in the corner. Henry takes a bump, and Arsenault plays it to the line, not out. Shanks gets that pass from Whitaker. He steps in, walks into one, and that's just high and wide on the glove side. Shanks said the coach was telling him to shoot more, and that's what he did there. It's never a bad idea to put one on net. O'Toole down to McDonald. He'll send this one down the ice. Grayson Shanks back to set up here for the Vitos. 48 seconds left to go on the man advantage. Shanks up to Bellier. Played ahead for Cormier. Cormier gives chase down behind the net. This one's played up back around the wall. McKinnon will go back to grab this one. 30 to go on the power play as McKinnon starts up from behind his own net. Trip Livingstone out through center. Flipped ahead into the corner. He'll get that loose puck. He's first to it. Passes off to Cormier. Back up top to McKinnon. Now Cooling. He'll walk in across to Cormier, who rips one just high and wide. Livingstone back to Cooling. He's going to walk in back door to Cormier. That's just flipped in front and wide of the net. Godkin picks that one up as Bellier sent down, and a penalty coming now to Noah Cormier. So, just 10 minutes into this one, already feeling some of the heat from last night boil over. Cormier doing a great job offensively, and then on the back check, a little knock to the stick, knocked it out of the hands, and that'll earn him 2 in the box. Shots are even at 7, and the Dukes have a fresh 2 minutes up on the board. They'll set up on the man advantage. Tennyson Godin on that far side. Couldn't get that one knocked off the stick. It's played to the net by English, and he'll hold on. Will Luca Riva. Face off back to Riva's glove side. Alex Cutler, Campbell Dunn on the draw. Cutler wins this one back. Mason English goes back to the point for the captain, McCormick. Back across for Dunn, up top to McDonald. Now Dunn on the half wall. Down low, it goes off the stick of English, and Pearson will send this one down the ice. It's picked up by Hatton. He's going to leave it there for McDonald, who's got Cutler chasing after him. Cutler almost able to intercept that one down low. Calls for Ahern. And now back up the near side. Cutler giving pressure as Sam Dunn works into the offensive zone. Dunn plays it up the wall to Campbell Dunn. The two Dunns giving each other some offensive looks here on the power play, but this one's sent down the ice. Once again, Hatton leaves it there for McDonald. 50 seconds to go as McCormick plays this one to the far side. It's going to be slapped back down into the offensive zone by Jake Garbo, and the Vitos doing a good job defensively here on the PK. Up the far side, Campbell Dunn. Walks in off the pad, and that one's backhanded into the corner by Hartman. Up top, Murnahan sends one right into the glove of Luca Riva, and he'll hold on, snagging that one for his 11th save of the game. Some other action in the U16 League right now. The only other game going on is down in Berwick, my neck of the woods. The Valley Wildcats and Western Rebels all tied at 1. That one probably just near the end of the first period. Right about now is out of the box. Goes Cormier. He's in all alone. He's got Murnahan working down in. That one's sent on to Hatton. It was loose. Didn't have it covered. And Cormier playing to the whistle on that one. Good job for him to spring himself out of the box. So back to 5-on-5 we go. Wilson, O'Toole, and Daigle with McKinnon and Whitaker back at the points. Off the draw, it's played to the near side. McLennan works up through center. That one's poked off his stick. Wilson almost able to pick up the loose change, but going Godkin will send this one into the offensive zone. Max McGinnon behind the net. Goes up the far side to Wilson. It's played ahead by Daigle to O'Toole. He makes a nice move towards the net. That one's poked off his stick. He had it tied up down there with McDonald on the way through. McLennan couldn't get that one back. It's off the shoulder of Hatton from the shot from Whitaker. And this one gets sent into the near side corner. Down there giving chase is Cameron Wilson alongside Alexander Daigle. It's played up to Whitaker, whose shot is blocked. And this one will carry him all the way out to center ice. McKinnon has to play this one around for Whitaker. McKinnon up the wall to Wilson, who goes out through center for O'Toole. That one back across. And it's knocked down into the Duke zone. Murnahan will pick this one up. Working it up the wall. Langell to center, but no further. It's played right back for Nash Langell. Goes down low for Henry. Into center. Bellier is there. Now Cooling walks ahead and a hand pass is called. Cooling was walking in almost point blank. Would have had a great opportunity, but this one will come outside the zone off the hand pass. Mason English, Case and Cooling on the draw, and this one is one of the half wall by Cooling, but controlled by the Dukes. Henry gets the pass, goes off the glass, and Murnahan will pick it back up behind his own net. Livingstone gives chase down low, as well as Bellier. But working this one up the near side is Henry. Poked off his stick by Arbo, worked up the wall for Luke Bellier. Cross ice for the captain, Livingstone. Livingstone's got Bellier going to the net. This one's gloved up by Hatton. And with 5:52 to go, we'll get a face-off to the blocker side of the Duke's goaltender. The Dukes with a lot of recent success. They've definitely had their luck in the tournaments as of late. Started off the new year with an Ice Jam win, and then a couple of weekends ago, the Spud champions back over on the island. What else can these guys do? Bellier goes off the pad of Hatton. It's into the corner, and Campbell Dunn gets a stretch pass. He's got 2 to beat, which he does. He's working in all alone, and that one's going to be called. We might have a penalty shot coming. Who knows? We'll wait to see the official call. And this one's just going to be 2. It's going to be Arbo for the hook. And off to the power play once again go the Eastern Dukes. Luca Riva, all good down there in that crease. Took a little bump. He's able to get back up and back to his feet. The Dukes will work in with their second man advantage of the game. Face-off is won by the Vitos. Shanks plays this one out to the line. And a 2-on-1 now for the Vitos. Cutler and Pearson working in, and that's offside at the line. Blake Hartman and Alex Cutler on the draw. And Cutler wins this one back again. He's been good on the draw so far today, Alex Cutler. This one's played up the wall. Pearson giving chase. And the loose puck picked up by Nash Langell. He'll work up through center, makes a move on Shanks, and that one's carried further into the offensive zone. Langell up top. For Cash Fisher. Into the slot. That one's intercepted by Shanks. A good stick down low, and he'll evade the danger, playing this one out to center. And now all the way back in the offensive zone. Cutler gets a stick on this one. Holds up the breakout for a few seconds. Crucial seconds on this man advantage, down by one late in the first period. At the top of the zone, Dunn. Over across, and that one's blocked on its way to the net. Shanks giving chase to Hartman down low. Now Arsenault goes back up top. Gets the return feed. Down low. Shanks gets good stick on that one, and it's knocked out of danger once again. Sean Ahern able to get it down the ice this time, and Hatton will stop this one up for McDonald. 15 seconds left to go on the penalty to Arbo. They'll get ready to hop back out on the ice as Campbell Dunn works this one back down into the offensive zone. Gives a bump to McKinnon, and this one's played back out to the slot. Cook has Arbo going far side. That one's taken away by Dunn. And he'll go back across for Henry. Up in through center for McCormick. The captain trying to backhand one across into the slot. And that one's taken away. The glove of Luca Riva is down. He'll hold on. And a face-off will come. 3:22 left to go in the opening frame. It's still a 1-0 game thanks to the opening goal from Campbell Dunn. Wilson, Daigle, O'Toole with Whitaker and McKinnon. We're back to even strength. And this one's played out for Carson O'Toole. Working into the offensive zone. Sends one off the pad of Hatton. And it's played up the wall. Kept it at the line by Whitaker. O'Toole tries to make a move, but Godkin's there. He's going to backhand one down the ice. And McKinnon has to go back. Pick this one up with Quincy McLennan all over him. Plays it up through center, almost taken away by Godkin. Risky pass there by McKinnon. Now on the far side, Wilson plays it back down into the zone. Daigle giving chase. He's first to it, gets a stick on it, plays it out front to Wilson. And now work to the back door. That one just goes wide. Wilson on the wrap job. Found Daigle in some loose ice. And that one just wide of the net. Godden back to pick this one up. He goes up the wall for O'Toole. It's just off the toe of his stick. He's unable to cleanly pick it up. And the Dukes will start back from their own end. 2 to go in the first period as Mason English works in. He's got Arbo trying to take that one away. He does. And Ballring will slap one, or excuse me, Arsenault will slap one on towards Luca Riva. Then with 2:04 to go, we'll get a face-off to the glove side of the Vitos goaltender. English and Cooling on the draw. English is going to be worked out. Cash Fisher in to take this one. Face off tied up. It's picked up by Cormier. A loose puck is cleared out of danger once again by Shanks, and Cooling will go up the wall to Livingstone. He's got Shanks going to the back door. And that one's held on by Hatton. Face off to the blocker side of Hatton, and it's Cooling who wins that draw quickly. Wanted to get it to Livingstone for the one-timer. He takes that one away, swipes it back down into the offensive zone. Behind the net is Bowring. Up the wall, Bellier slaps it into the offensive zone. Bowring back behind the net. At the point, unable to be kept in by Cormier. Shanks, the last man back, and that one off the mask area. I could hear that neck protector, the plastic neck guard, off Luca Riva's goalie mask ring, and now Livingstone takes a bump out at center. Some more rough stuff coming. Cooling right in the mix. Bellier, Shanks, everyone's got a say in this one. Looks like Will Henry's going to get one out of all of that. Don't see any Vitos player going to the box just yet. We will await the official call. As of right now, it looks like it will be a Vitos power play with 1:09 left to go. 2 for head will be the call to Will Henry. So down to the Duke zone will go. A Vitos power play. O'Toole, Cooling, Bellier with McKinnon and Cormier at the points. They've got 69 seconds to get one on the board before the first frame ends. Godkin and Cooling on the draw. It's won by Godkin. Picked up by Murnahan. He sends it into the corner. First to it, plays it back around the wall for Jackson Bowring. Back to the point for Cooling, unable to keep it in with the hand. Cormier goes back to grab this from his own zone. Drops for McKinnon. Up through neutral ice. Max McKinnon played it off to Cormier. Back at the top of the zone, O'Toole to Cooling. Walks in, finds Cormier. Just couldn't unload there. Now Gardner working in that shot off the pad of Riva. Cormier will play one out through center. Bellier gets a stick on this. Drops it off for McKinnon to Cooling. Back door. Just couldn't let that one go. McKinnon fires. That one's off a blocker. Cooling on the far side with 8 seconds. That one's back around. On the back door, it's spun just high. Cooling's got 3 seconds. They got to get one gone. And that one's wide of the net. That'll do it for the first period. A 1-0 lead for the Eastern Dukes here over the St. John Vitos through 20 minutes at the Qplex. We'll be back on High Button Sports with the second period of play, so stay tuned. Welcome back inside the Q-Plex in Quispamsis, New Brunswick for the second period of play between the Eastern Dukes and the St. John Vitos. Through one, the Dukes lead the Vitos 1-0 thanks to an opening goal from Campbell Dunn. We've got a big second period on the line. Vitos starting on the man advantage for 51 seconds. And we're off. Riva will stop this one up for McKinnon, and he'll get going from his own end. Hands it off to Cooling. Now Livingstone back across, intended for Cooling. No icing is the call. And now they will. So the face-off coming to the blocker side of Luca Riva. 36 seconds left to go. On the man advantage, Godkin and Cooling will face off once again. Cooling and Godkin tied up off the draw. It was played back by Bellier. And now Max McKinnon will work up through center. He's got a line. That one's driven towards the net. Cormier breaking in. And this one's played all the way down the ice. 15 seconds to go on the man advantage. Cooling starts up from behind his own net. Case and Cooling gets the blue. Drops for Livingstone. He works into the offensive zone, into the far side corner. Tried to play one in front. That's taken away, and trying to break out of the box was Will Henry. That'll be sent down for an icing call as Shanks goes back to touch up. So the face-off back down to the blocker side of Felix Hatton. Shots on goal 18-16 in favor of the Dukes. Shots on net are the Vitos' bread and butter. Only had about 23 midway through the second period last night when I tuned in. I thought it's a little bit low for a Vitos game. They've only got 16 now. They're used to peppering the opposing goalie with close to 30-40 every game. Dagla down low. Picked up by Murnahan. And this one's picked up by Wilson. Tried to spin one back out front. That's taken away and worked up the near side. Godkin breaking in. That one's poked off his stick by Shanks. Good defensive effort to knock his man off the puck. And now Daggle trying to make a move. Couldn't get that one past his man. And now O'Toole and Wilson. A little collision in the slot. And the Dukes bench loves that one. O'Toole plays one back for Grayson Shanks, who goes around the wall to Wilson. That one poked right outside the line. And back to center. Hartman gets a stick on it, as well as Langell plays it over for English. That one knocked off the stick of English, and back out to center it goes. McDonald holds up Dag just enough for Bowering to get back and pick this one up cleanly as he moves it out to center. Pearson and Arbo pinching off. English on the near side. Godden goes back to get this one. O'Toole backhands one up the line. Henry will send one back into the corner. Riva out to play it. Leaves it for Arbo. He's got Hartman all over him. Spins back, and Godden will play it up the wall. O'Toole glassing out. This one's out to center. Pearson wanted to lay a bump there on Henry on the far side. It's played back into the slot for Hartman. He's worked off the puck. And now back into the slot. English ripped one high and wide on the far side. Henry goes back around the end wall. Pearson picks it up back for Godden. That one's played up the wall. Kept it at the line by Henry. His stick snaps. And now slap back around the wall of a near side. Pearson gives a chip out to center. Bellier's got a stick on that one. Got Cutler going to the back door. Centers one out front. Cutler got a stick on it, just couldn't get enough wood to send it towards the net. Now back away goes Nash Langell, working in, sticked away by Grayson Shanks. Now out front, Shanks picks it up once again. Plays it up to Pearson. And across for Bellier. Bellier back across. That one knocked off his stick. And now outside the zone, Bowring will wait to enter. He works in offside. And we'll get set for the faceoff right outside the Vitos zone. Ahern, Wilson, and Cook out there for the Vitos now. A little bit of a line shakeup. The Vitos need a spark. Bowring will send one up the wall. It's chipped in by Gardner. Now back to Bowring. He sends it in around the wall. Wilson tried to play that one off the boards. Got stuck off a skate. It's worked towards Luca Riva. He'll hold on for a whistle. 15:25 left to go here in the second period. So an out-of-town score from Berwick at the Apple Dome. The Western Rebels picking up the go-ahead goal. They're up 2-1 over the Valley Wildcats right now. Mason DeNike on the call on that one. As this one slapped towards the net, Riva's down. He's got the rebound, and this one's played ahead by Ahern. Out to center, Ahern makes a move, gets by the linesman. And now worked back up the wall. Cormier able to keep it in. Wilson works around the top of the zone. Taken down, a penalty coming now to the Dukes as Wilson on the near side tried to shovel one in. It's touched down low as Riva gets to the bench. A good skate. But Quincy McLennan gonna go for the trip. So the Vitos will work back to the man advantage. It's 14:54 up on the clock. And it's a one-shot lead for the Dukes, 20-19. They lead it. Bellier, Cooling, Cormier, Livingstone, and McKinnon. Cormier back up top to Livingstone. Down to Cormier. Walks up, finds McKinnon. Back across to Livingstone. He'll rip one and score! Aye, aye, Captain. Trip Livingstone says, let's even things up, and that he does with a power play goal. It's a 1-1 game here from the Q-Plex. This one played down the length of the ice. We'll go back down to the Vitos zone for a face-off. This one coming to the glove side of Luca Riva. 14:30 on the clock. Shots dead even at 20. And the linesman signaling Greeley out of the draw. In to take this is Case and Cooling. Wins it to the half wall. Arbo plays it back around for Godden, gets the return feed. Up the wall, that one's poked out to center. Murnahan lets it go for Bowring. Livingstone giving chase. He's got speed, plays it back up the wall for Cooling. Onto the stick of Cash Fisher. Vito's gonna work in 1-on-2. It's Mason English trying to get to the net, poked ahead by Riva, but a power play coming here for the Dukes. Back to the point. It's worked to the back door. English couldn't let that one go. Murnahan back down to English. Down into the corner. Arsenault will work it back out to the point to Colin McCormick. He doesn't like what he sees, so he'll go back out to neutral ice. And now a penalty coming to Murnahan, so both will get one. Both teams will be penalized. So Arbo for 2, Murnahan for 2. What a turn of events, excuse me, here at the start of the third period. Vitos need another, so Wilson will hop on. Shanks getting another look here with Cormier. They'll switch. Daglin Godkin will face off, just getting things set up there on the scoreboard. Hartman in to take the draw against Alexander Daigle. Dag wins that one back. Cormier plays it up ahead. Wilson picks that one up, sends it towards the net. Hatton with the glove there. He's ready, and he'll hold on for the face-off. 13:25 left to go in the middle frame. We're dead even at 21 in the shot department. The face-off will come to the blocker side of Felix Hatton. Daglin Godkin once again on the draw, but that one will be redone. Off the face-off, the Dukes control, but it's worked out front by the Vitos. Godkin trying to work out to center. Poked off the puck by Daigle and poked ahead by Cormier for Wilson. He's going to get speed up through center. He's taken down, no call. And it's worked ahead by Godkin. Back to the point. Blocked by O'Toole. Now Shanks in the corner goes cross ice. Intended for O'Toole. Linesmen say that'll be an ice, so we'll head back down to the Vito zone. 12:43 to go. Arbo and Murnahan still in the box. Off the wall, English goes back to Henry. That one's rimmed around the end wall. Picked up by Campbell Dunn. Cormier plays it back around for Shanks. Back for Cormier. Up the wall, Wilson will control, look for an option. He'll get the red line. And send one towards the net that's off the knob of the stick of Hatton and out of play. We'll get a face-off back down in the Duke zone. Cutler, Bellier, and Pearson with McKinnon and Whitaker at the points. Sam Whitaker playing a little bit of defense here, like some early season days. Fisher tried to work in, stripped by Bellier. Bellier almost stripped there by Sam Dunn. Off the wall, linesman's got to watch out. That one Almost labeled right towards the dome. Sam Dunn on the near side. Gonna try and work past Max McKinnon. Now the Dukes working in 2-on-1. McCormick shot held onto by Riva. And he'll hold on. McCormick and McKinnon have some words for each other. The battle of the sixes. Off the draw, Godden plays it to the line. Kept in by the Dukes. Arbo's got to get to that one into the corner. He does. Plays it back behind himself. Godkin goes up the wall. That's into the bench. And this one should stay inside. Might come outside the zone, but it looks like it will go back down to the blocker side of Riva, as it didn't go out of play. It just goes into the bench. McDonald grabs that one at the wall. Down low to McLennan. He's working in. Sticked off the puck by Godkin. Or by Godin, excuse me. I know a high stick will be called. Ahern, Godkin on the draw. Played forward ahead by Cohen Godkin. That's into the Vitos zone. Arbo takes a bump down low from a couple of Dukes. And Ahern trying to work out into the offensive zone. He's got it behind him. He'll stop up. And this is taken away by Godkin. Worked back out to center. Arbo down low. Helped out by Ahern. Loose puck picked up by Godnell. Chip this one out to center. No icing is the call. Wilson gives chase. This one almost picked up by Chase Cook. Worked back by Bowring across from McDonald. He'll get the return feed and work this one up the near side. Gardner worked off the puck by Arbo, and Arbo just couldn't get that headman pass up ahead for Livingstone. This one poked off the stick on the far side of English. Gardner back out to center, and Livingstone giving a bump on the far side and an extra shove as he corrals it down low. Grayson Shanks sends his man to the ice behind the net. Out to the top of the zone. Livingstone pushes that puck outside the zone and his man. Showing shades of last night this game is starting to. Livingstone sends his man to the ice, and a penalty coming now to Livingstone. So hold coming to the Vitos skipper. He'll sit for two, and we'll go back down to the Vitos zone for a Duke's power play. Godden McKinnon with Alex Collar and Talon Pearson for the PK. Luca Riva standing tall in that net, stopping 20 of 21, sent his way. Now off the draw, it's sent down the ice by Alex Collar. Hatton leaves it there for McCormick. The captain stops up. Pearson floating at the top of the zone. McCormick drops back for Dunn. Campbell Dunn works it all the way around the end wall. Back up top for McCormick. The captain will walk this one down the far side. Pad saved by Riva, and that's played back out into neutral ice. It's McCormick who picks it up. Dunn back across up top to McDonald. And he's able to keep that one in. McCormick fans on it, worked around the wall by Godden. And down the ice it goes. A couple of new penalty killers, or at least one, as Cameron Wilson will switch with Pearson. Pearson heads off. Ahern comes on. And Ahern almost able to intercept on the far side. English back out through center. This one sent down the ice once again by Godden. English calling for it on the near side. Plays it ahead. McCormick takes a bump. Worked back out through center. English. Back door. And the shot from Murnahan couldn't get to the front of the net. Fisher up top to McCormick. Now Fisher. He'll send one towards the net. Tipped off a stick and wide of the net. 5 seconds. Livingstone's back on the ice. And that one turned aside by Riva. 1 second until the Vitos captain back out onto the playing surface. Some other games around the league today. The Funny Thunder taking on the Basin Armada at the Greenfoot Energy Center in Bedford. The Cape Breton Jets taking on the Martello Bucks at the St. Margaret's Center, Fountain Arena. And coming up at 1 o'clock in about an hour's time, the Dartmouth Voyageurs and the Moncton Thunderbirds rematch from last night. I had the call there in Moncton. What a game that was. It was a close one all the way through. And the Voyageurs able to come away with the 2 points, moving themselves 1 point closer to the Valley Wildcats in the standings. So if they win today and the Wildcats lose, they'll jump ahead of the Cats. Now O'Toole and Livingstone working in offensively. This one's played up to the point. Cormier able to keep it in momentarily, but this is worked up the far side by Henry. Gloved up by Luca Riva, and he'll hold on with 6:50 to go. And today with a win, the Basin Armada will jump over the loser of this game and be tied with the Cabot Highlanders at 42. Now the Dukes working back in. Pad saved by Riva. Hartman held up down low in the corner. It's Shanks who pins Godkin to the wall. Shanks and Cook battling down there for it. Work to the front of the net. Godkin trying to spin off the pressure of Cook. Now O'Toole out to center, tries to find Daggle. It's worked ahead by Cook into the offensive zone. Out to the slot. O'Toole drags, and that's off the pad of Hatton. Cook out front. Daggle shot into the corner. That's off his stick. McKinnon will hold at the far point. He walks. That one sent through just wide of the net. O'Toole on the back door. Out front to Cook, and that's turned aside by Hatton. Great offensive opportunities here for the Vitos. This one held in once again by O'Toole. He's given a bump on the far side. Daggle chases O'Toole. Spins, fires, that's just wide of the net. Cook trying to get to it first. Now O'Toole down low, takes a bump. Now Livingstone works in, sends a backhander toward the net. That's turned aside into the corner by Hatton. Livingstone still has it. Drops it back down low. It's Daggle. Sends it towards the net. Back at the top of the zone. Whitaker just couldn't corral, but he keeps it in. Now Murnahan up the sidewall. McKinnon able to keep this one in. He goes down, back around, but it's played out to center ice. Whitaker's got to be first to it. Riva plays this one around the end wall. And McKinnon out to play it. 4:49 left to go here in the middle frame. And both teams starting to get some offensive opportunities either way. Cooling across for Livingstone. He'll send this one quickly onto Hatton, and he'll hold on, be forced to hold up. Livingstone giving chase. And with 4:37 left to go, we'll get set for a face-off down in the Duke zone. McCormick moved out of the draw. In to take this one comes Gardner, the man they call Reggie. The Dukes control off the draw. It's poked back into the zone by Cooling. Now across for Dunn. He goes up the wall. That's going to be an icing call in charge of the Dukes. And with 4:20 left in the middle frame, back down to the Duke zone we go. Shanks. Or excuse me, Greeley off the draw. Lost that one, and in goes Campbell Dunn. He scores. Second of the game for Campbell Dunn. Walks in, goes barred down. And with 4:10 to go here in the second, the Dukes have restored their one-goal lead. Well, it's a battle for first place. No one said it would be easy. And the Dukes have got themselves back ahead. The Vitos will need a big end of the second period here, as Shanks goes back to get this one. Pokes it ahead for Cormier. Out to the slot. Ahern gets a stick on it, flips it. Or Bellier, excuse me, flips it high out to center. Picked up by Talon Pearson. Pearson out to the slot. That one gets past everybody. Shanks will send one toward the net. And Pearson off a pad. Shanks back at the point. Goes down low. Bellier lets it go for Pearson out front. And now Cutler down low to Pearson. Tries to make a move, powering on the far side. Will get that one out. It's kept in by Cutler. He takes a bump, but Cormier able to keep this one in. Down low, Pearson. He's muscled off the puck by Murnahan, and this one goes out to the far side. English looking up for Cash Fisher. Working in, spins, fires to the back door. That's blocked in front by Cormier. Back door, they score. So tough end of the second period here for the Vitos. Still got 3 minutes left to go. And now down by 2. Got to get some offense clicking. Got to do it fast. McKinnon back behind his own net. Plays one around the wall. It's kept in on the far side. So English from Fisher and borrowing the official call on that one. Livingstone gets the puck and flips this one ahead. Tries to find Ahern down low on the far side. Ahern and Cook out there as well. Up the near side for Arsenault. That's sent out to center. And the Dukes working back in. Fisher taken down. A penalty coming now to Whitaker. And a trip will come to Whitaker. He'll sit for 2 or less, and the Vitos, after suffering 2 goals back-to-back, will head off to the penalty kill to finish off the second period. 2:18 on the clock, 2 minutes on the board for Whitaker. Off the draw, Godden goes down the ice, and this is all the way back for Felix Hatton. McKinnon staying put right next to Mason English up at the far blue as the Dukes start up. English gets that puck and sends it ahead. McKinnon and Sam Dunn giving chase in the corner. Dunn first to it. Down low for English. To Campbell Dunn. He's on hat-trick watch here today. This one's played across for McCormick, and that's wide of the net. Looking for a tip on the back door. English now. Around the wall. That one played out front, just wide of the net. Kotler picks it up, goes around the end wall. McCormick gets his stick on it. Dunn back up top for McDonald. Down low for Campbell Dunn, excuse me. Now on the near side, Greeley able to clear this one down the ice. And with 1:05 to go, the Vitos doing a good job of killing this penalty off. Still have about 35 seconds left on the man advantage as that one goes back door, intended for Arsenault, just couldn't get a stick on it. Sets up Nash Langell walking into the top of the zone. That one sent around the wall. Murnahan keeps it in. They'll switch up top with Cash Fisher. That one almost intercepted by Pearson, but walking into the Dukes. That one sent wide of the net. Tried to wrap on the near side. That one taken down. Luca Riva able to get the save on the rebound chance. And that'll be held on to for the draw. So 22 and a half left to go in the second period. 4 seconds until Sam Whitaker back out on the ice. And the Vitos will look to maybe spring Whitaker if they can get a puck out here. Gardner goes back down low. Whitaker will make his way back across. Bellier hops out onto the ice. 11 seconds now in the second period as Gardner sends it back down into the offensive zone. Cormier goes across to Arbo. They'll hold on, and that'll do it for the second period. So through two, a 3-1 lead for the Eastern Dukes. A big final 5 minutes of that last period, and this has us at a 2-goal margin. It's a 3-1 lead for the Dukes here at Welcome back inside the Q-Plex in Quispamsis, New Brunswick for the third period of play between the Eastern Dukes and the St. John Vitos. First place in the Nova Scotia U16 AAA Hockey League is on the line here today. Teams will skate back to center ice. We'll get set for opening puck drop in the final frame. It's a 3-1 lead for the Dukes over the Vitos. 2 goals from Gamble Dunn and a goal from Mason English for the visiting Dukes, and Trip Livingstone with the marker for the Vitos. We're off. This one's played into the Vito zone off the draw. McKinnon down low. He'll have to try and get this one out of the zone. It gets all the way back to Murnahan. But picked off at center by Whitaker, who worked forward. McCormick picks it back up. Goes up to Fisher. McKinnon up the wall. Murnahan keeps it in on the far side. Whitaker chips it around the wall, cooling. Goes backhand off the glass out to center. Greeley and Livingstone working into the offensive zone, but that's offside at the line. So 54 seconds into this one, we will get another face-off right outside of the Duke zone. Shots on goal are 32-27 in favor of the Dukes. And this draw is won by Cormier, sends us around the wall. Wilson, gets there first. O'Toole and Daggle out there trying to get something going. Wilson chips it ahead back into the skates. Bowering and O'Toole down low. Wilson to Shanks, goes back down low. That one's kicked to the half wall. Wilson first to it. O'Toole gets his stick on it down low as well. But Godkin works this up through the slot and out to neutral ice. Shanks plays it back down into the offensive zone. O'Toole has it, and he lets one go. It's gloved up by Felix Hatton. 18-17 left to go in the final frame. Some more out-of-town scoreboard for you. The Valley Wildcats trailing the Western Rebels 6-3 in Berwick in the final period of play. That one down to about 5 minutes left. The Fundy Thunder and Basin Armada in Bedford. That one is a 1-0 lead for the Armada. This one played back to the line, blocked on its way to the net. Hartman's got to chase after this as well as Godden, the 217s, going into the far side corner, and Godden gets there first, sending this back down the length of the ice. Murnahan back behind the net. Starts up from his own zone. Bellier gives chase as well as Pearson. This one's worked into center. Hartman sends one toward the net. Gloved on Barriva, and he'll hold on for the face-off. A quick shot from Hartman worked towards the net, but Barriva, no problem. He'll hold on to that one. And we'll get set for another draw down in the Vito zone. Cutler and English on the draw. Cutler wins it back. This one has to be redone. Arbo around the wall, up for Bellier. He goes off the glass. Cutler gives chase, but it's played back down into the Vito zone. Arbo with time goes back across for Godin. No Sutter McQuaid today for the Vitos. He was one of their better players last night, scoring a goal to put them ahead 2-0. And could use his offense here today, as Arbo will take a tripping call. So back to the power play, go the Dukes. And they'll work back to start this face-off. Back door off the pad of Riva, and the rebound is cleared. And this one sent down the ice by Chase Cook. Cook on the forecheck on the PK. He'll work this into the zone. It's picked up by McDonald. It's sent ahead to Sam Dunn. Had the stick slashed out of his hand by Ahern, and another penalty coming down to the Vitos. So Ahern will head off for the slash. It's a 5-on-3 for a minute 21. So some lengthy power play time here for the Vitos. Colin McCormick, the captain, already getting things set up here for the Dukes. Wilson with Cormier and McKinnon. Now back into the position. The Vitos will set up. Sent to the far side. McDonald looking into the slot for Dunn. That one sent wide of the net. Back up top. McCormick winds and fires. That's over the net. Wilson will pick this one up in the corner. He's going to be taken down, and it's worked back up top for Campbell Dunn. Across for McCormick. McDonald in front. They score. Second of the game for Mason English. Right where he scored his first. On the back door. A cross seam pass. Off the post and into the back of the net. Now a 5-on-4 for the Dukes. Still on the man advantage. Up the wall, Cash Fisher. Murnahan, back of the point, drops for Nash Langell. He'll work his way around the top of the zone. Langell working in. Tries to find an option. That one is Murnahan. Drops it back for Langell. Around the top of the zone. Once again, Langell. Drops down low for Hartman. That one out of his reach. Cormier giving chase in the corner. Back down low, Shanks. He's going to pin Hartman to the wall. Shanks doing a good job. He's first to that puck. Little escape turn down low. Back to the point, Fisher. Drops for Arsenault. Down low, Cormier gives chase, breaks that one up. Shanks in there as well. And now back out to even strength as Ahern works himself back onto the ice. This one escapes his own, kicked out and worked ahead by Hartman, but poked off the stick by Sean Ahern. He works in. Ahern working in, backhand. That one turned aside in front. Godden sends one through. That's off the blocker or shoulder area of Hatton. This one played around the net. Cooling going to be first to it. Down low. Played it up top for Livingstone. Back down low. Intended for Cooling. It's picked up in the slot by Godkin and worked out to center for Nash Langell. Into the offensive zone. The Vitos will start to regroup. It's Godden behind the net. He's pressured. This one's thrown up the wall in through center. And Dunn holds the line back for the Dukes. Campbell Dunn, long shot into the glove of Luca Riva. He lets it go, leaves it for Arbo. This one's played up the wall by Bellier and sent right back in. Godden in the far side corner to Livingstone. This one's played up the wall for Cooling. Cooling, Bellier back door, and that one's turned aside by Hatton. Bellier back to the net. That one's turned aside into the corner. Cooling lets it go back to the point. Walking is Arbo. He'll send one through. That's off a body. And Hatton might have got a blocker on that one. Poked up the wall. Cooling in through center. Back door for Livingstone to the back door. O'Toole just couldn't get a stick on it. Now O'Toole out front. Cooling's there. And a penalty coming as Cooling held up on his way to the net. Livingstone on the far side. And that one will be called with 12:52 left to go in the third. The Vitos will get a chance on the man advantage. We'll see who gets the call here. Looks like it's going to be Godkin for the slash. Bellier, Cooling, Cormier, Livingstone, and Max McKinnon out there on the power play, and it's one back to the point. McKinnon down low to Cooling. Walks into the slot. That one blocked in front. Rebound sits there. And the net knocked off its moorings, excuse me. That'll bring the face-off back to the glove side of Hatton. Livingstone and McKinnon having a talk back at the point, looking to set up. Cooling will walk into the face-off circle and wins it back cleanly to Livingstone. Sends one into the corner, intended for Cooling. Not able to get a stick on it, and this one's worked down the ice. Arsenault able to work it into the far side corner, but it's stripped quickly by McKinnon. They'll work out on the man advantage. Cross ice picked up by Luc Bellier. He works it into the offensive zone. This one's poked at by Hatton, and now Murnahan picks up. Sent to the top of the zone. Cooling makes a nice move to Livingstone. Fires the one-timer. That one's just sent high and wide. Murnahan back to the point. Unable to be kept in. McKinnon goes cross ice to Livingstone. Back around the zone. Centered for McKinnon. He walks in. Tries to find a line. Send it down into the near side corner around the wall. It goes off the leg of Livingstone, and he'll get the return feed. Back down low to Cormier. Livingstone. Cross ice McKinnon. Back across, kept it at the line. Livingstone unable to receive that saucer pass from Kason Cooling cleanly. It's worked down low by Cormier. Up top for McKinnon. He's going to walk, fire, off the pad. And Livingstone out front. Bellier scores! Luc Bellier on the power play, short side, and he roofs one over the glove of Felix Hatton. And just like last weekend, if you remember back to when the Kings were in town, the Vitos were able to storm back in the third period with a big comeback and win it at overtime. Might have some extra hockey on the way here if things keep going the way they are, but a 4-2 lead as it sits right now. McDonald down low. McLennan back across for Campbell Dunn. Back into the slot, McLennan. Quickly up through neutral ice. Sends a long shot into Riva, and he's forced to hold on for the faceoff. 10:56 to go in the final period. Shanks off the draw. What a game Grayson Shanks is having defensively. Able to get on pucks, first to puck. Breaking plays up defensively. Now McCormick sends one off the glove of Riva, and that's out of danger. Pearson trying to break in to the backhand, and that one's turned aside by Hatton. Pearson trying to slide it through the 5-hole, just couldn't get that one to go. McLennan up ahead for McCormick, racing in, but Shanks first to it. Pearson plays this one up into neutral ice. This is back across for Bowring. He goes up to Fisher. And Shanks tried to play that one up ahead. Couldn't get up to Greeley in time. Cutler's got to chip it. This is up for Pearson. He plays this one up ahead into the offensive zone. He'll go off for a change. Greeley gives chase for the Vitos. This one's played up ahead, a long pass. Couldn't find the stick of Fisher, and that'll be an icing call. So with 9:47 left to go, we'll work our way back down into the Duke zone. And the Vitos, just like that, have taken the lead in the shot department. That's the Vitos team we're used to seeing, the one that throws pucks at the net no matter what. And that they've done. Ahern on the draw once again with English. This one's one to the half wall. Down low, Fisher tries to play it up to the point. McKinnon at center. Will turn. Tried to work one up through center. Intercepted and quickly played up the wall. But it's worked back down into the Vitos zone. Whitaker behind the net. Works out to center. Cook chips at that. He gets that into the offensive zone, but it's called offside. So the Vitos will have to touch up, allowing the Dukes an easy breakout. Done. Up the wall to Fisher. McKinnon will touch up for the high stick. And that'll bring us another face-off to the glove side of Luca Riva. 8:55 to go in the third. Out to center and back down into the Duke zone. Bowring and Dunn will start out from the defensive zone. It's up the far side to Arsenault. He's pinched off by Shanks. And Daigle plays it up the wall. Wilson's pinched off in the corner. Shanks will play this one back around the wall for Cormier. Up to O'Toole. He chips at it. Can't get past the line. And Dunn will send it back around the wall. Shanks on the far side. Gets to that. Plays one off the wall ahead for O'Toole. This is out to center. Arsenault plays it back for Dunn. Quickly up for Nash Langell. At center. Langell breaking in with Godkin. 2-on-1. But Shanks able to hold him off and work him to the corner. Cormier plays it back into traffic. Now out to center ice. This one turned back quickly by the Dukes. Shanks will set up behind his own net. Long pass up ahead for Daigle, and that one's sent into the offensive zone. Wilson giving chase. Langell out through center. That's poked at by Gardner. Sent to the far side. O'Toole goes cross for Greeley, but it's picked up, moved ahead by Nash Langell. He'll send one into the offensive zone, and that's off the glass by McCormick. And a whistle will come. That's onto the top of the net. I believe it landed. So a face-off will come. 7:14 to go in the third. And we're getting down to crunch time here for the Vitos. McCormick and Greeley will work back in on the draw. Greeley going to be waved out, cooling well inside the circle. McCormick wins that draw back. McDonald shot off the pad of Luca Riva and back out to center. Cooling gets a stick on it, pokes it ahead for Livingstone. He's got it in the skates, turned aside by Felix Hatton. But Livingstone back on the puck down low. Greeley plays one back around the wall. Livingstone gives chase down low. Up the wall, this is played for McDonald and out to center. Arbo sets up behind the net, plays one back into his own skates. McLennan comes in to help out as well. This one's still down there in a pair of skates. It's moved free by Greeley out to center, taken away by McCormick. And Cooling will work in to the offensive zone. Casey Cooling rips one off the blocker of Felix Hatton. And Livingstone gives chase up the wall. Greeley tried to knock that one ahead. And Murnahan behind his own net. Just under 6 to go. McDonald has Cooling all over him. And that one's played around to the near side to McLennan. Flips one up the wall. McKinnon goes off the boards back into the offensive zone. Colin McCormick, the Duke skipper, will set up from his own end. This one's tipped into the Vitos zone. Max McKinnon back for it. Goes around the end wall off the skate of Alexander Daigle, and he'll set up back down low. Around the wall for Pearson, ahead to McKinnon. He's got speed, and he'll dump this one in. Bellier down low, off the post, out front. What a chance down low for the Vitos. And now Sam Dunn on the far side, working in on McKinnon. He tried to play one back for Campbell Dunn, and it's taken away by the Vitos. Pearson into the offensive zone. Leaves it for Alexander Daigle. He tries to center one into the slot off a stick. And now back for Daigle. That one's into the slot, taken away by the Dukes. And it's quickly worked back into the offensive territory. Shanks will pick one up. Work his way back around neutral ice. Makes a nice move. Grayson Shanks up into the offensive zone. Back door. That one's set just high and wide over the net. Shanks unable to get to it on the near side. It's worked ahead, 2-on-1 coming in. Cass Fisher drags, and that one's just wide on the far side. Up ahead, this one's played down the ice. No icing called. Ahern giving chase as well as Chase Cook. Murnahan stops up behind his own net, looking for an option, plays this one up the wall, hops over the stick of Nash Langell, and back out to center. Cormier with just under 4 minutes to go. It's played into the offensive zone. Cook trying to get to it first. Wilson couldn't get a stick on it. He was tied up on the far side. Shanks poked at it. Just couldn't get enough wood on that one. Cormier goes back cross ice to Shanks with room. He'll work in, stop up. Just taken away by Murnahan. Ahern now working in. And it's worked back up the wall. Godkin takes it away, and the Dukes will set up in the offensive zone. 3:20 left on the clock. Out to center. Godkin tried to make a move on Cormier. That one's played up the wall. Wilson. He's got a man breaking down on him. That was Langell giving him some troubles. And now Langell on the near side. Walks in, back door. McDonald turned aside by Riva. And with 2:58 to go, the face-off will come back down to the blocker side of Luca Riva. Shots 41-40 in favor of the Vitos, but the Dukes lead 4-2. Off the wall, O'Toole pokes it ahead to Daigle. He gets that one out to center ice. Quickly turned back the other way by the Dukes. Bowering goes back into the offensive zone. Arbo stops up behind his own net. Chipped out to center. And Daigle gives a bump to Bowering. And picked up by McCormick. Was the loose puck. He walks in, turned aside by Riva once and twice. And the rebound's in his skates. And that'll be blown dead. 2:19 to go. Face off to the glove side of Luca Riva. Jacob Greeley, Mason English will face off. Greeley wins it back for McKinnon. Plays this one into the corner. Gonna send a long stretch pass ahead for Case and Cooling. That's up out of play, but good job by Cooling to get a stick on it and at least negate the icing call. Greeley, Livingstone, and Cooling. Face-off tied up. Taken control of by the Dukes. Sent into the offensive zone. Whitaker there for it. Plays it back up the wall for McKinnon. Chipped out by Livingstone. And English will set up. Down the half wall he goes for Dunn. Now Livingstone back out to center. Cooling on the hunt for this puck. Played around the wall. Greeley first to it. Works it down into the offensive zone. Cooling walks out to the slot down low. Livingstone. And that one just sent wide of the net. Riva to the bench. Livingstone picks up the loose puck, but it's knocked back out to center. Whitaker across for Arbo. That one's up ahead, knocked wide of the net, and that will just go wide of the Vitos net for an icing call with 73 seconds, a minute 13 left on the clock. Face-off will come back down to the blocker side of Felix Hatton, and a timeout has been called by the Vitos. So we'll be right back here on High Button. Livingstone, Wilson, Cooling, Cormier, Daigle, and McKinnon out there for the Vitos, while Daigle and Mason English will face off. This one's played around the far side, kept in by Noah Cormier, sent down the wall for Livingstone, and around the far side, Cooling's first to it, down low, Wilson. Tried to play this one past Campbell Dunn. He does, but it's back to the point now for McKinnon. He sends one to the net. That's turned aside by English, and he'll send a long shot down the ice. That one's wide of the net. McKinnon has to go back and touch up for the icing. So with 47 now left on the clock, we'll go back down to the Duke zone. .47 seconds sits between the Dukes and first place. That one's taken off the face-off, sent around the wall. Cormier just couldn't get there in time. And it's quickly played back up through center. Wilson gets a stick on it, offside. Cormier sends it back around the wall. Cooling down low. This one's held to the wall by Campbell Dunn. It's poked free. McKinnon down low as well. And this one's sent down the ice, looking towards the empty net. That won't go. Looks like we're going to get a couple of penalties out of this. It's going to be Godkin and McKinnon. So with 10 seconds to go, a face-off will stay inside the Duke zone. Livingstone will look to take this face-off win from Daggle and unload, or Cooling will do the same on the far side. Arsenault hops back onto the ice. Hartman in to take the draw. Cooling off the draw into the slot for Livingstone, and that one turned aside by Hatton. A good set play for the Vitos, but that'll do it. Wilson gives a little shot and a penalty coming. Some extracurriculars at the final buzzer. But with that, the Eastern Dukes move into sole possession of first place. We'll take a look at the standings. Both teams tied here at 41 with a win over the Vitos today. They'll move in to sole possession of first place with 43 points over the Cabot Highlanders. And the Basin Armada with a chance to jump over the Vitos as well today. So the Vitos might slip back down into fourth place after this one if the Fundy Thunder can't take care of the Basin Armada in Bedford. But for now, for High Button Sports, Dayton Comeau tuning out from the Q-Plex. We'll see you next time.